Hello, this is CP number 5, Managing Capacities and Breakdowns. I want to start by talking about the conversations I could recognize inside myself whenever this subject came around. The not being good enough conversation, giving others the authority to assess about my personal value, the need of recognition and acknowledgement, and the difficulties to say no. Those were some of the conversations that I could recognize in me and in others whenever talking about this. But there's another conversation that I want to talk about, and I think is more important because I could see it in the culture that we're building. And this is a conversation that values more the doing than the being. It seems like being busy equals being successful. Lately, I've spent some time with my mother. She's had 2 brain surgeries in the last 3 years. So some of her abilities have reduced drastically. She used to be a superwoman, always busy, always doing something. And I can see how she suffers now with the conversations in her head. Because for her, staying at home, pampering herself and taking care of her health is like a waste of time because she's not producing something. And I ask myself, when did we as a society started to value more the doing than the being? There's a book that my dad used to read me every night when I was a little girl. It's called Momo by Michael Ende. The book is about a little girl, Momo, and she's very loved by everyone because she knows how to listen. And she spends time listening to others. And there are these gray men, and they live with the time humans save. So they teach humans how to save time by being more productive. And that way they steal their time. So there's this phrase in that book that I love. And it says, people never seem to notice that by saving time, they were losing something else. No one cared to admit that life was becoming even poorer, bleaker, and more monotonous. The ones who felt this more keenly were the children, because no one had time for them anymore. But time is life itself, and life resides in the human heart. And the more people save, the less they had. What are we doing with our time? Are we saving it for later? When did we forget that just being alive is enough? Or is it that if I spend my life in a cave doing nothing, my existence wouldn't have a transcendence? Is it that we find transcendence in what we do? What is the conversation that is behind all of this system of being busy and overcommitting and overwhelming? And I get that it's really hard sometimes, especially when you're growing into taking care of something that you care about, and you spend so many time in taking care of this, that you forget about other things that you care as well, like your health, for example. And I've seen this many times. Humberto Maturana says that once you know what you want to keep, everything around you can change. And I wonder, is our health something we want to keep? How about our dignity? Because it seems that in the business world, dignity has no place. Otherwise, it wouldn't be so hard to say no. When did we started to put a price on our time and on our health, on our dignity. There's a chapter in The Little Prince that I love, so I'm going to read it. "Good morning," said the little prince. "Good morning," said the merchant. This was a merchant who sold pills that had been invented to quench thirst. You need only swallow one pill a week, and you won't feel no need of anything to drink. "Why are you selling those?" asked the little prince. "Because they save a tremendous amount of time," said the merchant. "Computations have been made by experts. With these pills, you save 53 minutes every week." "And what do I do with those 53 minutes?" "Anything you like." "As for me," said the little prince to himself, "if I had 53 minutes to spend as I liked, I should walk at my leisure towards a spring of fresh water." And I see that it's really easy to fall into a bad habit of overwhelm and overcommitting, especially if you have bigger responsibilities or kids, and you want to give them a fabulous life with great education. But is it worth it to risk your health, to risk your dignity, to risk your dreams, to risk being with them just so that they can have a good job and then aim for a fabulous life for their kids? When did we started this? When did we decided that this was the thing that mattered? And I don't want to sound like I'm judging everything or that I believe that this is bad. It's neither good nor bad. I just question myself, how are we doing what we're doing? Maybe life would be easier if we valued other things. Maybe the planet will be different. And this is a subject that has left me with more questions than answers. It's a subject that really gets me, and I definitely believe that I could keep on going in this subject, especially because I see that I overcommit. Not in my professional life, because I try to be very organized, and I know my limits. I even sometimes put myself in situations where I don't use my full capacity so that I don't fall into the overwhelm. I can see that. And I can definitely see that I do overcommit and I get overwhelmed in my personal life with others because I care. I care about my relationships. I care about my friends. And I sometimes put others first. And it's very hard for me to say no to them. Especially for these, because I have this idea that if I say no to them, they will think that I don't care about them. So as you can see, this is a subject that brings a lot of me and a lot of questions. And the good thing is that I can go on working on it. Because I definitely see that if we change the conversations behind it, then a world of possibilities open. And finding those conversations really, I don't know, I love it. So thank you very much for listening and for watching, and goodbye.